Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about online or internet dating. Well, people, over the years, we can't underestimate, I guess we could say, the proliferation or great growth of internet dating sites and online dating sites, and what they've done, for people. I'm sure, number of cases it's brought people together. It's gotten, people married. People have started significant relationships, some ending well, maybe some not ending so well. I'm sure there's some people that have had, their superficial flings because of it. But the thing about internet dating is that, I think one of the main things to be, prudent and wary of is the fact that, obviously, as most of you know out there, that there's a lot of, people on there that, aren't who they claim to be. You have a lot of, scams, from other countries going on, and a lot of times you get a foreigner that'll write to you and they'll say they're enamored with you, they love your profile, they love you or whatever, and it's somebody, some swindler from another country just trying to get you to send him some money, and then, break off the quote-unquote relationship with you online shortly after receiving the money, and probably get rid of their email, and you're never able to contact him or her again. Don't get me wrong, there are some, there's some good reputable sites out there. I'll start with that. Obviously, like Match.com is very good, but of course, to get all the benefits of it, you do have to upgrade. They do, I don't know if they have this now or not, but they previously had like a 6-month, guarantee where if you didn't find anybody in 6 months, that they would give you another 6 months free. The sad part about that, though, is that they don't give you an assurance of actually meeting somebody in 6 months, and that was really the main thing. I'm still a member on Match.com. I was on there for the 6 months, and I didn't find anybody. 6 months, I got 6 months free, and I still didn't find anybody. Where we look in, online dating is actually, I don't know if it's really that much different than real life. With the exception in real life, you know who you're meeting all the time face to face, as opposed to being in the virtual world of online dating. Thing is, people will reject you for superficial reasons. People will still be fallacious and not always tell you the honest truth or what's going on. That maybe the reason they didn't want you is because they were maybe a little materialistic or avaricious and wanted more money and wanted you for reasons that weren't really, necessarily appropriate, where, reality is somebody should want you for, your substance, not what's in your wallet. But that is just my own, statement on this. The thing that got to be careful of, besides Match.com, let me just go back to what's reputable, some reputable ones. Match.com, plentyoffish.com or POF.com is pretty good. There's another website called datehookup.com. Datehookup.com and POF.com do not charge anything. Now, I think POF.com may have something where if you can upgrade, you can get a few more features, but I believe POF.com at least is still free to write and correspond with, prospective matches, people that you may be interested in on the site. There's some other dating sites which I have gone on, which I guess that you can kind of say they're a little bit more of in the erotic genre or category, what have you. There's some that have not gotten good reviews as well, and one of them is let's see, it's scorenextdoor.com and amateurmatch.com. And then there's another one. I don't want to say the word because I don't know if I'm allowed to or not, but all I can say is the website's name is FBook, and it's got UCK after the first letter, and I guess you guys and gals can figure out the website I'm talking about. Anyway, a number of those have people on there that are just basically, they might be webcam girls, and you just have to be, careful. They might say that they really like you and then give you an email to write to and this and that, and it's really, just somebody just to try to get you a lot of times to go onto a site, or it could be somebody that is just a scammer, just in general. one time I was on this website called scorenextdoor.com. I believe my profile is still on there, even though I don't use it much. And what happened was, I don't know if it necessarily came from this website, but I'm very suspicious. On the website, when you sign in, you put in your handle or username, and then you type in your passcode. And the username, of course, is shown so you can see what you're typing. But on the passcode on there, that I guess it's usually concealed on most websites, and when you put the letters in, it'll just be each character will be represented or concealed by a black dot. But this one showed the passcode. And then sometime after I created my profile on there, something happened where a number of my website, I guess you could say my email and Facebook, that somebody had apparently got into them and hacked them, and it could have come from this website. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. Another thing on that website of the scorenextdoor.com, something also where I knew something wasn't quite right in my opinion, because what I would do is when I sign up, I put in my my city and state that I was located in. And what would happen is a number of these people that would write me on there, theirs would correspond with my city and state. And I said, okay, well, maybe they're just coincidentally in that area. But what I did was I conducted a little experiment. I changed my city and state on at least an occasion, if not more. And what would happen is, when I would go and peruse those same profiles of those people that wrote me previously, that same city and state showed up on their profile. So by default, it just seemed like it would go whatever the city and state I would put into the parameters, I guess, or the fields, would automatically come up on their profiles. And that showed me right there that those were just probably like solicitors or something, or bots or whatever. But so you have to be really careful on a number of those sites, especially the ones that are a little bit more erotic. Now, there's one website that's that it's similar to like Facebook in a way, but Meet Me is more about it's a little more flirtatious and flirty, and it's a lot of superficial kind of friendships that go on that site. And on that site, basically, I've been on there for 3 years, and that's another site where I have not never met anybody in person from that site. And I mean, it's cool to correspond with people, and it's got like games on the site and things, and they have like a match game and a blind date game that you could play online and find potential matches or what have you. And I'm sure there's a lot of people have actually met their elusive love on there, and I believe it has stated there that there's been a number of people that have. It hasn't with me, and whether it's because of my limited income or whatever reasons it might be, I have not met anybody on there. So I guess all in all, what I'm basically saying is that the websites, these internet dating sites, if you've had struggles in real life like I have in terms of finding that elusive love, then when you go in the virtual world and you go online, you're probably going to have some struggles as well. Now, the field opens more when you're online, because obviously, a lot of the sites you can email people from different, and majority of them you can write to them that are in, different states and countries possibly. So you have a larger field, but, it seems like the end result is generally about the same. So, a lot of people, I just, I don't want to sound like, put a damper on anything or sound very pessimistic or what have you, but if you go onto these sites, don't think that if you're in a situation where you're limited income and have certain limitations in life, that you're just automatically going to find somebody out there, because it just probably is not going to work that way unless your experience right away was very providential and fortuitous, and you happen to hit potluck right away. I'm not saying that can't happen, but I'm just saying in my experience it's just not very probable. And basically that's really what I wanted to get at as far as the internet sites go, and just to just for people, be very careful, who you give your information out to online. A lot of people are not who they claim to be. People are very sneaky and surreptitious that go on there, and they're on there might, as a ruse, they might say that they're looking for their love or something, but they might be out to just try to run a fishing expedition or scheme or something, similar, or something where they can get you to send some money to them and tell you the sad story that they're in an impoverished situation, or their mother or father or both are debilitated and sickly and they just need $100, because then you're setting yourself up for, some problems. I just figure I, put this out there. But don't get me wrong, if you have certain stability in life and your income is okay, your character is good, you know what? Go, if it's something where it's more convenient for people, hey, go the online dating route. You got nothing to lose. But just be wary and take your precautions when doing so. Well, people, that will conclude this segment for online or internet dating. And until the next time I put out a video, people, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.